Hey guys, hey, and thank you for those who were able to view this. I know that this is the important piece is we made it. No matter how traumatic, no matter how busy, no matter how even disappointed that you were with the festivities, but you made it through. Maybe you even just caught yourself at home with your head buried under the pillow, just waiting for this to be over. And maybe you were actually able to engage and have some fun. But don't worry if you weren't, because you will get there and maybe you will not. But guess what? It's okay. You're going to live, take every day, every moment at a time, do what you can, and don't worry about what you can't. We're going to learn how to build up our resilience as you work with me. And long story short, just meaning appreciating every single second that we're here. And we're getting away from the I'll do that when, because that has been a lot of ours mindset up until this point, and that has got us in this anxious state that we're in and have us disgruntled with things. And nothing of that is of or from God, and that is not the way that He would want us to live our precious life. So we're not going to do that. We're going to debunk that, whether you are a believer or not. But I just wanted to get that off my chest and just let everybody know that I'm thankful for you for being here, first and foremost, and hoping that you had a great holiday. Um, and if you didn't, hey, I hope you have a wonderful day today. And if you find yourself in a moment where you just feel like disgruntled, like every day is just like not living up to what you feel like it should be or want it to be, let's talk privately one-on-one about that. But I want to how do I say, acclimate you guys to the group that maybe are new. Thank you for joining. I know some of you are you're either looking to become a coach or you're coaching and you want to get it up to par to where you want it to be. So today I want to point out, I dropped in a reading list because we are what we read, what we feed ourselves is going to show up. That's what I mean by that, especially in this journey. It is crucially important. One of the things that we lie to ourselves and tells ourselves is that, especially those of you that are on the outside looking in, and you're in like maybe this really stressful corporate environment, and you're thinking that when you get into entrepreneur mode or you take on something like this, that there's no stress. Let me burst your bubble. There's no such thing as no stress. What you do is you learn how to manage that stress effectively to where it's not beating you down, but you've built up your resilience and you're able to manage it effectively to where you're able to take that and go on. But with the pleasantly uncomfortable method that I share inside of this group, and especially with those that are in my program, you learn how to recognize when those things are necessary and when they are not, and what to do about it. And why? Because you're going to need to pass that on to your clients. Yes. So the first rule is, listen to me and listen to me real good. The first rule of coaching is, and I'm going to share it y'all in just a second. You notice I'm not saying life coaching, but the first rule in coaching is, when you work with me, is that we do not coach people with things that we do not experience personally. Understand that. Say it again. We do not coach people on things that we have not or will not experience personally. And this is the key part: overcame. And that's where people get confused. And that's why a lot of people are upset. And they'll say things like, coaches don't help. It's all about the money. It's a scam, blah, blah, blah. You heard it all. And the beautiful piece of that is that it will slay that imposter syndrome demon that is going to rear its ugly head every chance that it gets. And I wrote an article. If you follow me on LinkedIn, because that's usually where I'm the most active, because that's where my ideal clients are. But I wrote an article about that. Imposter syndrome does not affect those who are imposters. If you are tormented by the imposter syndrome demon, that is a good indication that you are where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do, or at least trying to. Why? Because the imposter knows they're an imposter. they're not in the closet about that. They're not hiding that at all. They know they're an imposter, so they are not afraid of being exposed as such. They are not afraid of doing things that they shouldn't do because they're what? They're imposter. So it's a sense of remove. That's one of the unfair advantages that the imposter has over you. They are not vested. And one of the reasons that this lane is so, no matter what your degree is, what you've been doing prior, one of the reasons that I've noted that this lane right here, that you're so skeptical about stepping out on faith is because it's kind of linked to that imposter syndrome, but because it's tied directly to your why. You know, the why behind the real why that you really don't share with that many people because it's not their business anyway, but it's personal to you. So you care about it. The cool thing is that when you don't care about things, people can't hurt you, right? But we're being real here. When you care about things, then you can get hurt. So I want to tell you, you're going to get out there, you're going to launch some awesome programs. You're going to help a lot of people. You're going to position your business the way that you want to position it to do what you want to do, but you're going to incur some battle wounds along the way, and there's no end to them. And you're going to scale this business, but guess what? It's not going to happen overnight. I don't have no magic secret sauce to tell you how to avoid all of the traumas, all of the dramas, all of the obstacles. What I do have is my secret sauce that was provided to me by my scope of life, and then sprinkled with my education and experience and research, and neuroscience, and all that other jazz that I'll share to help you get where you're trying to go. And then your secret sauce will have all that compacted on top of it. So we're just going to keep building. So you may be new to the Skool community. Congratulations. Because I have had multiple experiences with software, and there have been some. I am by no means financially rewarded for promoting this platform. Caveats here. If you work with me and you start a Skool community, yes, I will get a what we call a affiliate fee for you actually subscribing to it and paying for it. You may see, if you have looked around, and congratulations to you if you have, that if you start your own community, that you get 14 days for free. I caution you on that. Make sure that you have a plan, a strategy before you start that, because 14 days goes fast. And I also want you to understand that they don't mean that you're going to make this X amount of dollars in 14 days. That's not what they mean. And I wrote another article to kind of explain that we are all, especially us in this room, we're all at different levels. Now, I myself could scale something in 14 days because I have everything, and I have the everything plus the strategy and the person in my ear to tell me where to put what and when. Now, a lot of us don't have that. It's taken me years to get this. And that cost me a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of dedication, a lot of sleepless nights. I lost a lot to get there. So welcome to the losing journey. You're going to lose along this way, but it will be rewarding. And that's another thing that hinders us from like launching our business. And when I say we launch it, we want to passively launch it and kind of tell people about it, like, shh, I have a coaching practice, or yeah, I do some life coaching on the side. No, you're going to need to scream it. You're going to need to be courageous, because if you don't take it seriously, why would anybody else? Think about it. It doesn't matter if I wanted you to coach me on how to be a better baker. If you don't believe that your business is important enough for you to stand up and stand out and tell me what you do confidently, and a little bit of how you're going to do it and how that's going to benefit me and help me to get where I'm trying to go faster, then, and what you guys are going to do is you're going to teach them how to get there, because we are promoting mental wellness with this. It's not always going to be about the speed, but it does. Like I said, it's taking me years to get where I'm at. So I am sharing with you my hardships so that the ones that you can avoid, you will. But it's going to be more about maintaining. That's the thing that we're going to share with our clients that other people will not. They will, some of them, and they may, and they're not doing it out of malice. They're not doing it out of an evil place. Some people are, because of their mindset. They feel like that they have to leave a gap there. And if they fill that gap, then their revenue is gone. Poof, right? So they need you to keep coming back. And then you get people that say things about like gatekeeping and stuff like that. They reference some of the things like that. But gatekeeping is incorrect the way it is being used in the world today. Gatekeeping means you won't tell nobody else because you don't want crabs in the bucket mentality. You don't want them to get where you are, do better than you. You won't tell them nothing. That does not mean that someone will not tell you something until you pay them. I've been in that situation. Some of you are in that situation, especially in the corporate space. Unfortunately, some of us, especially if you have skin like mine, have been exposed to real gatekeeping because of your skin tone. So that is what that is all about. That just really irks me when people say that because you put a monetary price to something. People value what they pay for, period. But that does not mean that we won't get free. Y'all are here for free, right? If you're in the free group and haven't upgraded to the actual membership, but you're going to get value here. And why do you think that is? The best way to show someone that you can do something is to actually do it. So we're going to use cooking because that's a great how-to method. That's actually the method that I use for my how-to speeches. If we wanted to learn how to bake and somebody came on a reality TV show that we've been watching since we were children, and they told you they were going to bake a German chocolate cake. And then they stood in front of you and they just read off the instructions and they talked about all of the possible obstacles that you could have along the way. And then at the end, they show you this beautiful cake and they say, here. And then they offer you, and you've been dying to learn how to do that. And they offer you a link to sign up for their free group, paid group, anything like of that along that line. At the end, how many of us are actually going to sign up? I know I'm not. I'm not. I am a big fan of Rachel Ray. And one of the ways that she grabbed me, her and Martha, and how they grabbed me and held on to me this long is because they actually did what they said they were going to do and what I aspired to do in a sense. So yes, for the sake of time, they would put the thing in the oven and then they would tell you, we're going to put it on 350. We're going to bake it for about an hour, hour and a half, whatever. And then they pull out the cooked one out of the oven, and so we can see what it's supposed to look like at the end. That's acceptable. That's similar to what we do with coaching. So, however, if they stood up there and just talked about it and then want to show me the end product, no, because you're presenting off or looking like a charlatan. Yeah, yeah. No, you didn't show me or talk about any of the obstacles that were going to happen along the way. And that's what your clients are looking for you to talk about. Those are the pain points. That people, the things that are concerning enough for people to want to actually do something about. And that's what they want to hear. Because everybody out there is talking about how great of a life you could have if you just do X, Y, and Z, and it's just going to be beautiful and bliss. Some of those commercials and videos that people come up with are almost demonic to me. The way that they talk to the people through the camera, it's like very, very, very obvious that they are like fraudulent and that they are in a sense of one, they can't do what they say they can do, and or two, they're just blowing smoke. No one in here, not including me, can make someone have a beautiful life if they don't want to. But if someone wants to do something, we can help them by our means necessary according to what the Lord's will is for that person. but we're there to guide. We're not there to tell them what to do. We're not there to tell them how to do it. But there will be instances where a lot of us are going to coach and consult. And I'm going to talk about this on LinkedIn because that's just my avenue of like going out and getting clients that I like right now, and the tone, and they appreciate the depth of the pieces that I create. Whereas other communities, maybe not so much. Maybe I should say platform, because this is a community, but platforms, not so much. When you're casually scrolling on Facebook, for the most part, I know we are nerds and that we really are interested in information. But for the most part, most people don't want to read like a 3-page letter with detailed with what the problem is, this is the solution, this is the steps, and here are the sources that I'm citing. They're not looking for that. But on LinkedIn, they are. So that's why that's my choice to go there. And if that's the kind of content that you put out, and your ideal client is there, you definitely need to go there. We're going to spend some time talking about that in the future months or weeks, because here we are a community and we are here to help each other. Each and every one of you guys brings something to the table, and I'm appreciative of that. But for the most part, pay attention to what kind of content you aspire to create. And that goes from your courses, that goes from what you put out there, your content that you share online. And most importantly, remember that we are coming from an educational perspective as coaches. We're not there as an influencer. Some of us are talented enough to walk into both spaces, and some of you are just blessed that way. People are just drawn to you. You just have a good spirit that people flock to you. You know it. So you highly influence people. In the end, all of us will influence people according to what our passion is. However, there are influencers out there that's all they can do is influence. This is your unfair advantage over them. Not only can you influence them to promote mental wellness in their life, to make it a real concern, or whatever it is that you coach, you can show them how to do it as well. The influencers can only point, and it shows up. How will they know that you can show them how to do that? Q&As, questions. And so one way we can address those to benefit you in growing your business is to, one, when your audience is asking questions, whether they are asking them directly to you or indirectly on someone else's post, it would behoove you to note them, write them down, and come back and make your content focused around those areas. That's exactly what I do. So you know how when we were younger, and some older people still do this, God bless them, but we would be like, don't talk at me, talk to me. Well, we're going to use that method to where when they open up whatever app they're on, or they watch wherever you market it, when they open it up, you talking at them, but directly to them, because we're going to tweak it a little bit. A lot of people are talking at you, but we're going to speak directly to them in that talk at them methods. That's what's going to make your messaging pop. So, like I was saying, some of you guys, most of you are new to the Skool community, and I encourage you to go around. This was your homework assignment on one of the earlier posts. And you were supposed to go up there to the search bar. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment and show you how to do it. But I want you to go and search for communities that are aligned with your niche. If you need to fine tune your niche or kind of ask some questions or not sure what you want to do, then let me know so that I can share some content to help you with that. Or you can join one of these sessions like this, the live session building session, solution building session. I'm sorry, because that's what these are all about. It's not about me getting on here and talking, because I can do that and post that in the classroom and of course. It's about addressing in real time the concerns and the questions that you have so that you get where you're trying to go, right? So I have a list here, as my long-winded self mentioned before, that what we feed grows. And the first book that I recommend is Crucial Conversations, Tools for Talking When Stakes Are High. That one is going to bless you, because there are going to, as a coach, you are going to have to address some very uncomfortable situations, especially since we're promoting mental wellness. You can't turn the blind eye and act like you don't see it. And because your client is depending on you to point that out to them so that they can choose to address it or ignore it. They have a choice. But you as the coach are not going to let that by. Number two, one that I want you guys to read is very important because it's going to make it easier for you in the long run when it comes to the marketing part where everybody stalls out. 100 Million Leads, How to Get Strangers to Want to Buy Your Stuff. Is by Alex, Mr. Hormozi, that you see promoting this actual platform. He is a young genius, and I don't agree with necessarily everything he says. His Q&As are the bomb. So if you're in the school games, please attend those sessions or review them. You get a lot of worth, and sometimes he's just going to be re-emphasizing the things that I am saying, like in a glassy tone where I break it down. Number 4 is the 4-hour work week. Escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere, and join the new rich. So why I bring some of these, those of you who have been with me for a while, you recognize that a lot of these are repeats because they're solid, they're foundational. And just because you read it once doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't revisit it, because you read it you get a different perspective. You find something new every single time you read something. We do not do something more than once the same way. So number 3 is $1 Million Action Plan, your step-by-step guide to making wealth happen, by Rachel Rogers. That one, I want to think for the most part, number 1 and number 3, that you can get them on Kindle today for $0 if you have the subscription, and then like $1.99 I think if you don't, the day that I'm recording this video anyway. You can listen to Alex's book on YouTube for free right now. You just need to type in the title and search it. And then for those of us that like to hold a book, order it. It's only like $20. Number 4 is the 4-hour work week. That one is on like the $1.99 list or $0, something like that. And it will behoove you to actually order it in paper form. Let me warn you about this one. This one is not one that you're going to sit down and read in like one day. It's lengthy and it doesn't work that way anyway. What I like about that one is because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. I see a lot of people that will escape the corporate arena, but bring those bad habits that we, including myself, bring those bad habits that we formed and created from that into our business. And then you find yourself disgruntled. You find yourself in the crossword thinking things like, I shouldn't have did this. You find yourself discouraged. And the main thing is because you have not learned how to work the 4-hour work week. And one of the main things is that I implement from this is avoiding meetings. When it comes to me doing my thing, it would not make sense for me to meet with every single one of you one-on-one. That does not make good business sense at all. What makes more sense is for me to meet with you in a setting like this, a group, and we all discuss the topics that are on the table. Because one, that's a lot of time that I'm taking away from myself to meet with y'all individually. And then 2, not being compensated for it if you're in the free group. So that don't make business sense, right? And then Number three, you get to hear from your peers. You get to hear feedback. We're all at different areas in this business. So there's a whole lot of wealth to learn from. And somebody has the same question that you have, but I'm not going to say you're afraid to ask it because we're past that, may not sure how to form it, how I should say that to make sure that she understands. That's the thing I like about ChatGTP. I don't have to actually always know exactly what I want to ask. I could just start the conversation and finally arrive there. You know, people not so much because we're not machines. Then number five, you're going to start with why. How great leaders inspire everyone to take action. That is imperative as a coach because that's going to be tied directly to your secret sauce. And I share this list with you because it's basically like I put together a coaching program for you in book form. So instead of you being in my individual coaching program, you have the books that's going to give you knowledge. Then you have availability to me in the group to fine tune it and continue to nurture you along the path. Then, of course, number six, that really was number one, but the way that this speed is, it bumped it down to number six, and that's okay for me to end with the good word. The Bible. It is literally the standard of everything. I do not pervert the Bible as some other people may do. You may see them preach from the Bible and tell you, see, we call it the prosperity gospel, and tell you if you do this, you're going to get this. You do. No, what I'm pointing to you here is, regardless of what your faith may be, every single thing that man has created and that is good comes from there. Even atheists have acknowledged this because they focus on the facts. There is some very good content in there, and society knows that. And a couple of people that are in that space where they are like, I seen a billionaire the other day quote something, and she was just rambling. And I was like, yeah, I got to fine tune my message when it comes to me referring to the Bible, book, chapter, verse. I can't say or something like that. So a lot of the stuff that I do, well, not a lot, all of my inspiration comes from the Bible. A lot of the times the things that I create and write, I'm inspired by reading. I'm inspired by conversation with my husband, my children, some of the brothers and sisters at the church. And we're talking about the Lord. In addition to that, sermons, that may be something I'll have my aha moment, you know. And remember, I wrote that piece that explains why that happens. In addition to, it's the standard, it's the foundation. Everybody else just borrows from it. And guess what? That's completely okay. You know, so I just wanted to share this list with you guys here. And then I want to move around a little bit. Let me share my screen. Open this up, and then it'll be, for whatever reason, even though it's green, I always have to look for the share screen button. Okay. Now you guys see with the reference that I was reading from with like all of the little books. And then when I post this, it's going to have like the little, hopefully it will have the links attached to it because I copied and pasted it. So let me copy all this so I don't have to rewrite it because I'm not quite ready to post. So I'm going to click out of this so I can show you guys around in the community. All right, so you see this little button here? Anytime I go live inside the community, that's going to pop up. If you have the app on your phone, you're going to be notified. If not, then you're going to get reminders on when I'm going to go live. And you can also go here, this handy dandy calendar that tells you when I'm going to go live. So it's always going to be scheduled because it is a solution building session. Whatever the topic is, you're going to know ahead of time. But this is the community. We welcomed you in here. There are 17 of us here right now. This is the classroom. So this is the free course that I have available to you that is actually pulled from my life coach certification program to give you some of the gems out of there and an idea of what my coaching style is. You have a little welcome, open it up. We talk about the scope of practice. That is imperative. We talk about the life coach versus the mental health professional, and then the grow method, which this is actually a case study just to show you what the grow method looks like, which is usually the method of choice for most coaches. So that's why I included it in there. And you get all of that for free by participation. So we look over here at the leaderboard. Right now, Natasha's at a 3, and it's not much. We don't require you to do much. If you come in here, participation is key, guys. If you come in here, and this was the first post that's pinned at the top, we want to welcome you. And I just asked you to share something in here because this group is for you guys. And later on, when we get to building our individual communities, I'm going to share with you why. Those of you that are working with me inside the program, you know why. But we want to form a relationship, get to know each other a little bit. So break the ice here. When you do that, you're going to get likes on your post. And then these little numbers on side, you're going to change. And then once the platform notices that you comment back, maybe you skipped that one. That's okay. You can go back and do it. But celebrate wins. We need to post on there. That's not a bragging site for me. That's for me, for you to share with the group what has went well for you. And then general discussion, y'all can make posts, write about anything. We have it really organized where you can ask questions under this tab. So intros, it's okay if you don't do that. If you do something in the wrong area, that's completely okay. But most importantly, I would like for us to please get the questions in the question tab just to help me keep up with it. Remember, the calendar is going to have important dates here. When I roll out the AHA sessions, which is the one-on-one session with me, with just me and you, but we can, a lot of people call them onboarding sessions, but the AHA session where we can talk about the things that you maybe need a little bit more understanding on or not really wanting to share with the group right now, it's fine. We'll talk about it there. And especially if you're interested in upgrading and joining the membership. Then we have the members here. And I'll go through that really quickly because I don't want to share anybody's information. Okay, so this is what you're going to be looking at. So I'm just a level 2, right? But the course is unlocked to me. Now, that's when it's going to notify you. You're going to have like your little notification tab up here that's going to notify you things. So pay attention to that. The beautiful thing why I picked this platform is that you don't have to download the app if you don't want to, but you can keep up with things. I encourage you to do so because it just makes it quicker and more accessible because everything will be here instead of me having you to go to here, to go to there to get things. But just what was I saying? Yeah, I pointed out level 2, you'll get a notification telling you that you now can chat with members or whatever, and that you got access to the course. What I have built, what the upgrade would look like, would be fine-tuning your life coach program in 30 days. It can totally be done. It's going to take some commitment from you, but I've narrowed down the information that we had in the 3-month course to the 30-day, and that's going to be available for you guys to upgrade if you choose to. However, the free course is there. Please go look at it, use it, take the information and run with it. Don't just come here and be exposed to it and sit on it. But you have that. So say we know what our niche is, right? This was your homework assignment. You're going to click up here in the little search bar, and we're going to search for mental health. because I want you to go explore. Uh-oh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm glad I did it like that so y'all can see. But let me get out of here. This is my community, but I'm also in the school games. So let me click on this. If you're in more than one community, you can switch in between them. But the ones that you are the most active in, you will have these little icons. So the MT with the little brain plug-in is me. But go up here and you can switch. I'm sure it's going to look different because a lot of you are on phones and tablets, and that's cool. But this is what you need to click to go discover other communities. I'm sorry. But you type in your niche, and they have all kind of communities. You will find different things, but for the most part, please go look for your niche. So then you can see what your competition looks like. Everybody's coaching platform will be logged under personal development. It's the way they have it. But these are some of the groups here. All groups are not free, but you can see. Let's see, the fitness tribe, $27 a month to be with him. The mental gym, that sounds cool. Just looking at a couple of these just to see what your competition is doing. And we're just seeing to learn mental health and relationship tools. We're just seeing so that you can see. I wanted you to do that so you can see that they're out there, if they are, and how many are already on the site. Now, there are a million of these groups or whatever. The groups that are the most active are going to be like on the front page. So that's what came up. You can look through a couple of pages and see when you do your niche so you can get a better idea. But that's that. Then you maybe want to look at like some of your interests. I'm gonna type in yoga. I did. I actually joined a yoga group. I was not happy with it, so I got out of it. This one, I probably will look at her. And there was nothing wrong with it. This one looks like a cool one. There was nothing wrong with the one I joined at all. It just was not what I was looking for. So just to give you a quick little tour around the app, but always just go back up here to get back where you're trying to go. When you got in here, I guess you just came directly to my community, but they are way more. Now, for those of you that are advanced or working with me and you're ready to create your community, you click on that, and then you're going to see here the free day trial for 14 days, and you can cancel it anytime. That's the cool thing about it. But remember, once we have our plan together and our strategy, then we start the group. I would love it if you would make sure that you have at least met with me on a 1-by-1 if you're not actively in my program before you start the group. And you can have any kind of name, so they tell you to change it later, and then you just build it out. The cool thing about you being in my group is that you get pre-exposed to that. So let me go back here. Stop share. Okay, so that is what I wanted to talk about for the most part. And I would love for you guys to comment in what areas that you want to know more about when it comes to coaching. And I wanted to address something as well as why it's called Simply the Best Coach Academy. We are not limited to just life coaching. Those are the individuals that I choose to go after. But all coaches are welcome because the coaching method that I've created and that I share, especially the marketing piece, will help a coach in just about every area. I would particularly like to stick with coaches that are have niches that can add on the mental wellness aspect, because that is my passion. That is what I'm aiming to do with this. So I want to know what you guys would like to learn, and what would be a ideal good time. I'm not guaranteeing that the next live session will be during that time, but I'm going to try my best to do one that is close to the time to where more people can hop on. But today is the holiday, so I didn't expect that many people. But I wanted to share that information with you guys. And please, please, please get in here, start having conversations, start asking questions, start encouraging each other, start. And in one thing that you will do, I see a lot of coaches do, is that we have a problem with showing up. And then we think that showing up means that we have to go live every day. It means that you need to show up and do something for this business that's going to benefit you, something that's going to help you get to the life that you are trying to get to every single day. One of those things is going to be rest. And so I hope that you guys are either resting or going to rest. But I'm Coach MT. I am the founder of Simply the Best Coach Academy. And once again, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this impactful community. And I look forward to growing with each and every one of you. Y'all have a good day. Bye bye.